Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're going to be talking about my amateur investing report where I dive into my growth stocks, my growth crypto, my dividend stocks, and my passive income generating crypto, as well as a quick insight into my budget. So you have a complete overview of my finances and giving you some insights on everything that's going on. There hasn't been a lot of individual changes for like stock buys and crypto, etc., but my portfolio has exponentially increased, which is fantastic. And we will mainly be talking about that, the way the market's moving, some of my future predictions. But obviously, we're still going to go through all the usual stuff. So let's dive in. A big thank you and shout out to my sponsor, Cake Wallet, which is an open source, non-custodial Bitcoin and Monero wallet that also has a built-in exchange. It's available on iOS and Android. In terms of dividends, my total dividends earned is now up to $1,245.86. Last month being September, I earned $131.69. So that's fantastic. Just a little short of my previous all-time high earning month of $138. But you can see on the chart here, we're steadily trending up, which is fantastic. A little more stagnant lately because I haven't been putting in new money. I've just been sort of paying back all this money that I owe to my own taxes that I previously invested in Bitcoin, which was a good idea. Well, it was a bad idea, but it played out well, luckily for me. But I'm currently paying that back up and just building up my savings so that then I can just start maxing out my TFSA and go all in on this stuff and just be 100% investing, not worrying about all that stuff. In terms of crypto income, I'm now continually seeing large increases because, again, I am just compounding everything. I'm not taking anything out. I'm adding, whenever I get sponsorships or new things, I'm typically just adding that to my crypto passive income now. So it's up to $13.35, but I expect next month to be exponentially more and just to continue to keep growing because I'm going to keep building this up. So you will see this continue to trend upwards. And we'll get back on top for this. My total earnings for crypto income is $344.90. Other passive income like royalties, etc., nothing new there. In terms of my overall crypto portfolio, at the beginning of October, I clocked in at 219,000, which is pretty crazy because now it's exponentially higher. I believe it's 279,000. But we're going to get to that. So everything is playing out pretty much exactly as I'd hoped. I believe my last report, I clocked in around 250,000, and currently I'm at 344,000, I believe. Well, again, we're going to look at this all momentarily, but just a massive, massive increase. And if I keep seeing increases like this, then, everything is going to come to fruition as I was kind of anticipating or hoping for. In terms of my stock portfolio, it's down a little bit just because Bitcoin went way up and then it went down, and a lot of things are going on there. But rest assured, it is higher than that now. But it's also partially because I sold out some of my my Bitcoin ETF for my growth portfolio on Wealthsimple. Not a fan of Wealthsimple. I only had that one stock, that ETF, so I just sold that, pulled it all out. I'll either invest it in a different way on my other investing accounts, or I'll do something with it. But I just didn't want to bother with Wealthsimple anymore. So that explains that. Now that's everything for that. In terms of my budget, September was a bad month. I spent a bunch more on upgrades, did a bunch of things. Now I'm going to be living extremely frugally in order to ensure that I stay on budget going forward. I basically have to spend $2,500-ish a month to stay in good graces and kind of keep within my budget, which I don't think should be too hard because I've already, bought all the things I need for the year. I've bought in Christmas presents already, all that stuff. I did increase my budget to $42,000 reluctantly, but I'm very confident going forward into next year that a massive amount of these expenses won't be important or needed. I won't need to upgrade my computer or my studio anymore. I did a whole wardrobe, I redid it all. I'm just black shirts now, a bunch of different things. I finished paying off my student loans, a lot of different things. I'm probably going to cut down my expenses by at least $10,000 for next year and be much closer to around $30,000, which is generally where I want to be for my expenditures, so that I can cover that within my $1 million dividend 5% milestone or goal that I'm aiming for financial independence and retirement. Anyways, though, let's jump into the actual overall portfolio. So I said 344,000. It's actually 343,000. It's actually 343,000. So that is fantastic. I'm really excited to see that that I've had this massive increase. Again, that's about $93,000 increase from last month's report to now, which is, again, just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm thrilled about it. It's all crypto just spiking back up. Not a lot else has changed. Again, I haven't really put much new money in. I've done a few sponsorships. I'm earning a little bit of crypto from my social media stuff, but a lot of this really just came from massive price appreciation. So very, very nice to see. And it hasn't really changed things around that much. Still 89% in crypto, 11% in stocks and otherwise. And, I'm very, very over leveraged with crypto, but I still feel really confident about the way that things are going, that I can continue riding this out a little bit longer, and then we should be good going forward. In terms of my dividends and like my passive income earning, not a lot has changed, but of course my crypto income is starting to go up, so that's really nice to see. In terms of my actual crypto portfolio, you can see the breakdown here. Again, ETH has really just been taking the lion's share of my portfolio, not because I've been aiming to do that specifically, but just because Ethereum has just been doing so well. I originally went in 40-60 in Ethereum Bitcoin, so 60% in Bitcoin, and now it's flipped and it's about 40% Bitcoin and, well, it's 38% Bitcoin and 54% Ethereum. So a very significant flip there, about almost like $50,000 difference, or 45-ish, whatever. But very, very substantial. And yeah, I mean, clearly Ethereum has a lot of room to continue growing, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential there. I'm really excited to see how this continues to play out. I still have high hopes that we could see 150,000 plus for Bitcoin and over 10,000 plus for Ethereum by the end of the year. I will be selling off the majority of my assets when we see a big run up like that, because I will expect a subsequent crash right after. So I'll probably end up selling 70 to 80% of my portfolio, and then moving that into dividend stocks, and mainly dividend stocks. That's going to be my main source of income that is going to then fund my lifestyle and or crypto investing in the future. And I'm still going to be earning a lot of crypto from everything that I'm doing now, so I'm not too concerned about needing to have a massive amount, like stockpiled. I'd rather try to sell at the top, try to buy the dips, keep earning, doing all that good stuff, until eventually I could just earn 100% crypto, and that would be fantastic. For passive crypto, this is the breakdown. You can see that I've been adding a lot more into Tron, and that's mainly because, like, when I get sponsorships and things, I've been generally asking for Tron lately, and then just staking that and just keeping that building up. And I've increased my HBD to 533. I'm not sure if that was already done in the last one or not, but yeah, I'm putting a little bit more attention to Hive and Tron as kind of like my main way to build up my wealth. Blurt has been doing really well. The coin's up like 33% today. It's up like 400% over the month. Pretty crazy. I'm just going to keep earning it passively, not buying into it or anything. But yeah, that's doing really well. Matter has not really been doing well. It's been super stagnant. Nothing's really been happening. But again, it's nice because it's one of the only cryptos that is going to just 100% passively earn and compound daily. And it's hard to pass that up, even if if it's not getting that hype anymore. But I still think there's something there. But again, the main focus for me now is just Tron and Hive for earning. My growth crypto, I did sell out of my Wealthsimple ETFs. We're going to look in the individual stock buys and everything, and I'll share that with you. And then in terms of my actual stocks here, you can see the breakdown. Well, I'll remove precious metals just so there's no confusion. But yeah, it's still generally around 20% for my main investments, utilities at 12%, and general ETFs at 25%. I aim to keep these generally around 21 each. So they're pretty much where they need to be. It's just a little bit of shifting around. I'm not going to get so specific to ensure that it's the exact amounts. It's just, my next buys will be in banking, and then my next buys will be in insurance, and I'll just keep going around making sure everything's kind of evened out. All right, for individual buys, again, like I mentioned, not a lot has happened. The big changes has just been crypto appreciating immensely. Actually, about a week or two ago, Bitcoin had passed its previous all-time high, and I was a little bit higher than I am now, but now it's gone back down, and Ethereum is way up, so I'm still generally around the same spot. I'm not at a total portfolio all-time high. I think it was like 283 or 285 or something, and now I'm at 279, but very, very close. So, I'm still thrilled with with all the amazing things that I've seen over the past little while. I used some of my dividends to buy some more TD stocks, very basic, just 3. And every month I always invest into a few more shares for my Tangerine dividend portfolio, just as kind of like my little side backup account. And unfortunately, a lot of dividends have decreased in the last little while. A few have gone up, yes, but most have generally declined. Even if it's only a little amount, it's still, kind of unfortunate. Previously, I believe this was around like 4.99, and now my average is 4.7. Again, I'm always aiming generally for 5%, but I didn't feel like it was necessary to make any changes. Previously, I'll try to balance my portfolio around based on certain dividend stocks and stuff, but I'm really happy with my current portfolio and the stocks that I've chosen. So even though I've got some banks that are even below 3% now, which is pretty unideal. I'm just going to wait it out and see how this plays out. If it stays under 3% for a very long time, maybe I'll consider selling out and switching around. It's only $791 anyways. So you do have to kind of consider, it's like, is this going to be a monumental change, or is this just going to be, a small change that I'm going to make and then just kind of go forward? Somehow, since I bought Canadian Western Bank, it's up 94%. No idea. I mean, I guess I bought it at the very, very bottom when COVID started. Same with Royal Bank, 61%. Bank of Nova Scotia, 40%. Pretty insane to have gains this big with bank stocks. Actually, down here, 95% with CNQ as well. They were really, really down and struggling because of all the oil crisis and everything. And now this is up 95% too. So I timed things very, very well during that drop, which is fantastic. But, aside from that, I think the stocks and everything that I've picked are very, very well performing. When people were freaking out about Evergrande, I saw like $100 loss across the entire portfolio. So very unaffected by these kinds of crazy changes, because a lot of this stuff is like tech and things of that nature, whereas I'm in extremely safe stocks and safe fields and sectors rather that I avoid a lot of these issues. In terms of growth investments, as I mentioned, I did sell my my ETF here from Wealthsimple so that I could just not really deal with Wealthsimple anymore. Not a huge fan of it. And it was like 2% up from when I bought. So I just said, whatever, I'll sell this, switch it to my other account, and just put it into some dividend stocks, or maybe even into another Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF. I'd just rather have it all in the same place. I only really had that one stock on Wealthsimple because I wanted to test out all these different exchanges a while back. And yeah, I'm not a fan, so I'm not going to be using Wealthsimple anymore. And my one stock that I bought somehow at like the peak of Bitcoin way back when. And so it's still down 8%, which isn't like terrible, but I did want to have at least some money in a in a growth ETF for Bitcoin, so that when Bitcoin does have its massive run up, I'm at least able to get a little bit of benefit of that in my tax-free savings account here in Canada, so that I can just really, boost my portfolio. Normally, I just want to focus on dividends and compounding interest, but it's not bad to have a little extra boost of money from something that I'm very, very confident in. And otherwise, $3,000 is like, 10% of that portfolio, almost more like 8 or 9, but still a significant chunk, nothing to scoff at. In terms of growth crypto, as I said, everything's kind of tracking along normally. Ethereum is way up. Bitcoin went up and then it came back down. Not a lot here has changed. Actually, though, I am at 78,000 for LBC. Probably doesn't make a huge difference in the price, maybe a few $100s, so it's not a huge deal. But for Bitcoin Cash, I was donated a full Bitcoin Cash, like one full Bitcoin Cash, which is really, really awesome. Well, not donated. I guess one of my posts or two of my posts kind of blew up, and I got over $500 on one and about $250 or something on the other. And it ended up being about one full Bitcoin Cash worth, which is just awesome. You won't see that though until the next report talking about October, because this happened during October, and that will be in my earnings report, which is going to be really, really awesome to see. In terms of staking, you can see the breakdown here of how this all worked out. And it's starting to really vamp up, and I'm loving it. Tron has been doing really well. You can see that the value is now $15.54, but before I only said 13 whatever. That's just the value of it today. When I originally earned it is the value that I always clock in. So it was about 13.84 or whatever it was. But these are picking up, they're gaining value. So, slowly but surely everything is kind of picking up and earning more. And all of these will have significantly higher values for October because I've been putting more into them. I've been earning more. Lots and lots of incremental increases in compounding interest that's adding up. So you will see that in the next report. That's pretty much everything for today, you guys. Let me know, how are you earning? What are you investing in? How are you getting crypto income? How are you getting your dividends? What are you looking at? What were your thoughts on Evergrande and that whole crisis? There's so much going on in the stock market these days to keep up with, and crypto. We got Shiba, we got all this different stuff going on. There's so much happening in the market, and I'm very, very bullish in the very, very short term. So I'm very excited to see how things are going to continue playing out. I expect my portfolio to at least double in the run up. If it doesn't, I'll be a little disappointed, but that is my minimum expectation, that in the next 2 months or so, I expect to be, well over $500,000. But, we'll see. Obviously, none of this is guaranteed. None of this is financial advice. This is more so financial entertainment, if you will. But I'm very, very bullish on the future. I'm really excited. What are some of your price predictions? Where do you think things are going for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for all these other coins? Do you think it makes sense to be investing in like Shiba or like all these random coins that everyone's promoting and endorsing lately? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always excited to hear what you guys are doing and what you think about all this. And what are your price predictions? Where are we headed? Let me know in the comments below. And anyways, thank you so much for watching to the very end. Do comment #1ham in the comments, and that way I know you watched to the very end. Anyways, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.